Hello, friends. Today we're going to take a look at relationships between characters in fiction stories. And for today, we're going to use The Tiger Rising to help us analyze character relationships. So we want to start at the beginning of a story when we are examining the relationship between two characters. Okay? First thing we want to think about is, do the characters know each other? And do they like each other? So if the characters already know each other, we need to be looking for clues from our author about what their relationship is like already. And those clues could be text evidence as we write our response. In the story Tiger Rising, though, the main characters don't know each other in the beginning of the story. They have just met. Sistine is a new student, and her relationship with Rob doesn't start off well in the beginning. Now, in this story, we're going to have to pay attention to what makes the relationship change. And that's another thing we need to look for. Does the relationship between the two characters that you're studying change at any part of the story? If it does change, we need to figure out how is the relationship different, and most importantly, what caused that change. In Tiger Rising, the relationship between Rob and Sistine starts to change because of one event. One day when Rob sees Sistine fighting with a group of kids who are bullying her, Rob distracts them so that they start chasing him instead. And this triggers a change in their relationship. However, if there's not a big change like that in your story, there are other things to think about as your story continues. Do the characters have anything in common? What do the characters learn from each other? These are two things that could also be helpful in describing the relationship between two characters. In Tiger Rising, as Rob and Sistine get to know each other, they discover they have things in common. They both have lost a parent. Both are bullied at school. Both are lonely and need a friend. And both are fascinated by the tiger. At the end of the story, we want to pay attention to if the characters learned anything from one another throughout the story. Rob and Sistine certainly learned some things from one another. And then we need to put it all together to write a response. So here's a sample response of a description of the relationship between Rob and Sistine in the story Tiger Rising. I start with an opening sentence. At the beginning of Tiger Rising, don't forget to underline your title, Rob and Sistine are not friends. So I'm making it clear they're not friends in the beginning. Sistine doesn't like Rob because he lets other kids bully him and doesn't fight back. Here is an example of why they are not friends, some text evidence. Their relationship changes the day Rob distracts the bullies picking on Sistine and gets them to chase him instead. It is important I include the event that caused a change in their relationship. Rob and Sistine learn that they have many things in common. I'm not going to list all of them unless it's important to my response. In this response, it's not important for me to list all of those things because I have other things to talk about, like the change in their relationship. But if there wasn't a significant change in their relationship, I might list more of the things that they had in common. Instead, I just picked two. They are both lonely because they have lost a parent and get picked on in school. By the end of the story, Rob and Sistine are friends. I want to make sure that in my response, I include how their relationship changed. So my first sentence tells me that they are not friends. In the middle, I explain how their relationship changed over time. And at the end, I give how their relationship ends at the end of the story. So I want to show that change from beginning to end because there is one, and it's important in this story. Make sure you have a recap at the end of your response, your conclusion sentence that talks about their relationship.